Welcome to the Inherent Identity Podcast, a place where you can learn the secrets to living as the best version of you. It's not about changing, it's not about becoming, it's about remembering. It's about recovering what you've always had within you, but you just keep getting distracted and you just keep forgetting. Join me, your host, Tyson Bradley, as we discover the practical steps for easily and effortlessly creating a lifestyle that lasts. All right, everybody. So I'm in my car and I had the thought, I need to record thoughts. I need to share some things that can be helpful. And these are maybe, I don't know if they're to be advanced tactics, but I'll call them advanced because when you do that, it makes you feel kind of special if you apply them. So we're going to call them advanced tactics. So one of the first tactics that I would offer to you to more fully understand whether or not you are truly seeking the Spirit in a way that serves you is by asking yourself, who is doing this wanting? So every single day we go about wanting things. And if you have children, especially young children, you can see this every single day and maybe even hour by hour, minute by minute. They're always wanting things, which is wonderful. And the thing about their wantings, though, is that they're very... I guess you could call them brain-based. They're just very carnal. They're just, I want candy and I want to play and I want to do it now, immediately. And there's definitely that kind of toddler brain activity going on for us on a moment-by-moment basis, where we're thinking, I want cookies, I want it now, or I want answers to my prayers and I want them now. I want clarity and I want it now. And so we have to ask ourselves the question, who is doing the wanting? And when I say who, we're really trying to discern, is this coming from my head or is this coming from my heart? Is this coming from a rush to get somewhere, or is it coming from a patient yearning to simply do what God would have you do? And I'll explain further, and this kind of goes along with maybe the second tactic or a principle that can change things for you. And that is to ask yourself, what is the motivation behind my seeking? So everyone's seeking for guidance, or if you are following me, then most likely you're wanting to build a better relationship with God and you want to seek guidance, and it's usually in hopes that you can gain clarity, move forward faster. For me, a lot of times it is, help me understand what I am to do with my business. How should I market myself? How should I go about all this? Like, there's so many decisions that are incorporated with trying to run a business. And as much as I may seek to partner with God in my own business, one of the, challenges with this, or something at least to check yourself on, is, am I desiring this knowledge? Am I seeking this guidance so that I can get to where I want to go faster? So that I can finally get out of this mess that I'm in? So that I can finally feel joy and peace and love? Because right now, those things aren't available to me? Because if that's your reason, and I only say that because that's talking from experience here, if that's your reason, then you might be not receiving as much. Or you might be operating from a place that isn't going to truly guide you into the most glorious and most beautiful experiences and transformations. So what's the alternative, right? So it's like, okay, Tyson, if I am not seeking for guidance to get some clarity and start moving forward, then what am I doing all this for? Well, I believe that one of the highest motives for seeking and for receiving guidance is simply because you love God, is because you love your heavenly parents and you just want to understand who they are and abide with them and just be with them and be in their presence, and to trust them in that when you seek for guidance, that you're just going to follow what they say and know that whatever they say is going to lead to the best outcome. It's going to lead to the best version of you. So that to me is different, or maybe the higher law, a higher way of going about connecting. And I will tell you that this is something that I am personally working on. It is something that I'm asking myself. I'm asking myself these questions of who's doing this wanting? And I'm asking myself the question of what is my motivation for seeking? And another question, and this is maybe the third tactic or thing that I might recommend, is that as you just go about your life, and you might just look at your calendar and just ask yourself, why am I doing these things? Really, why am I taking this action? Is it to benefit myself? Is it to benefit others? Is it just for fun? Is it to indulge myself? Why am I doing what I'm doing right now? You might be listening to this podcast and I might just ask you, why are you doing it? What is the purpose behind you listening to this podcast? Is it to strengthen your relationship? Is it just to pass the time? Is it, are you avoiding anything right now? Do you, if you were to just tune in for a moment and listen to your heart, would your heart say, hey, start creating that thing that you've been wanting to create and are procrastinating? And if that's the case, then I would ask you to let God prevail. I would ask you to let this godliness, this heart of yours, this spirit of yours that is yearning to create, I would tell you, stop the podcast and go create. Go do that thing that you feel so inclined to do. So these little questions to just start assessing your life are so powerful. And when you use them, and when you use them regularly, it is my belief that you will start to walk in a newness of life. You will start to operate your life from a place of spirit. You will start to operate your life from more revelation. You will gain more revelation, because here's what happens when you just allow yourself to pray and maybe even ask questions, but not attach yourself to receiving any answers, and just abiding in God's love, in our parents' love, and just being there with them. What's going to happen is that you're going to receive, and you're going to live into that love. You're going to just feel loved, and that love is going to heal you. It's going to heal your desire to rush. It's going to confirm and give you assurance that everything's going to be okay, and that God, as the great provider, will provide for you. That in a moment's notice, you will be given the exact instruction that you need, and the power to do and fulfill that instruction, and then be able to move forward. it's so fascinating that, and I want you to just consider that God can make anything happen. He is all powerful. I was just listening to a podcast, or really just the story of Moses. And if you really read the story of Moses, what's so awesome is that here is Moses' mother that is, has him as a baby for about 3 months, and they're hiding him away because, Pharaoh's order was to kill all the young sons at the time. And she hid him for 3 months, and then they put him in the river, and he was picked up by one of Pharaoh's daughters. And then Miriam is able to talk with this daughter of Pharaoh and say, hey, I know someone that can take care of the baby and, give it suck to wean him or to feed him. And sure enough, she is able to have his mother. So Moses' own mom, they deliver him to the river, and the river ends up giving him to the Pharaoh's daughter, and now she gets to feed her own son. And not only that, but she's getting paid to do it. And this is what I think is so awesome. It's just like, wait a second. When we just follow what God says and honor him and trust him, then not only does she doesn't even have to pay for her own baby, but she gets paid to take care of her own child. It's like, what? That's awesome. Who wants that? I want that. I want you guys to pay me to take care of children. I want you to pay me to do all this stuff that I already want to do. And so it's these miracles, these ways of God that can only be explained by God. And so I just want to invite you to start asking yourself these questions, to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? What is my motivation behind my seeking? And I forgot the last one, but you can remind it and find it. So I will leave you with that. Thank you so much. Continue to listen, and I love you all so much. Hey, do you want to create your best life? Do you want to live into it? If that's you, I want you to come and check out inherentidentity.com. This is the place where you get to learn the easy and effortless way to living into your dreams. So once again, come check out inherentidentity.com. We'll see you there.